Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, today our second online lecture on semantics. Last time we talked about the different meanings, whether denotation, connotation, conceptual and associative meaning. And today we are going to continue, we are going to proceed with the lexical relations. As you see, lexical relation, chapter 5. Lexical field. Alexeme, we said alexeme means word. Alexeme is defined by telling what set it belongs to. I mean, where does the word belong to? I mean, where the word is classified. And how it differs from other members of the same set. I mean, the same group of words, such as in sport. I mean, does the word belong to sport or physical activities, creative writing, manual occupation, as well as color. Some lexical sets, and once again I say the word lexeme or lexical is related to vocabulary items or words. Involve some lexical sets involve part-whole relations. Relationship, arm, hand, finger, thumb. So you can say that your hand is part of your arm, and your fingers are part of your hand, and your thumb are in your hand, and so on. So your head is part of your body, your eyes are part of your head, and your head is part of your body, and so on. The set second, minute, hour, day is a part-whole relationship that is also hierarchical. Some sets are sequential, like numbers, number 1, 2, 3, we call this sequential, or cyclical, January, February, March, April, September, etc. And other example is Sunday, Monday, and seasons of the year, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and so on. So we have two kinds of lexical fields here. We have something called sequential relationship, especially numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have cyclical. Cyclical means a month or something comes after the other, January, February, etc. The word cyclical comes from the word cycle, دائرة. And now we have this kind of relation, or this lexical field or lexical item that is kinship. Kinship in Arabic means القرابة, صلة القرابة. Kinship is not something limited to a specific nation or a specific culture. It is something universal. So kinship is universal since all humans are related to other humans through blood ties and through marriage. So when we have amalgamation of nations around the world, so the offspring increases due to having marriage. So people get married to each other. I mean, men marry women and they produce children. So there must be a kind of a strong relation between people. We call this kinship. So once again, kinship is worldwide. It's something universal, something global, since all humans are related to other humans through blood ties, علاقات الدم, and through marriage, الزواج. But kinship systems differ from society to society. Number 1, a relationship is a kind of a predicate. Harlot is Alice's father. Harlot is the father of Alice. I would say Muhammad is Ibrahim's father, and Ibrahim is Muhammad's son. So Rose Rose is Jerry's sister. Rose is the sister of Jerry, and so on. Or you can say Rose is Jerry's sister, or Jerry is Rose's sister, and so on. Some of the predicate relations in all kinship system can be described with the 4 primitive features. 4 خصائص أساسية أو بدائية. Parent, offspring الذرية. I mean, what parents produce, siblings, and spouse. Spouse means wife. We also need the components. Male, which equals male, and female, which equals a female. Okay, so a female and a male. Okay, father, you have a see, father, male, parent, mother, female, parent, brother, male, sibling, sister, female, sibling, son, male, offspring, and daughter, female offspring. Hopefully these are very clear. They don't need any more explanation. And now we're swiftly moving on to another important issue in semantics. Hyponymy. What is a hyponymy? As you see, hyponymy is a word or a phrase which has meaning in the general word phrase called hyponymy. Okay, food. So we had the word meat, fish, vegetable. So all of them are hyponyms of the word food. يعني الجميع الكلمات الآتية طبعا تتبع food. And then we have fruit. You see this? A fruit also is a hyponym of food. So this. So this is very important in the field of teaching. Someone may ask why, because if you are a teacher teaching English for students and students don't know the meaning of meat, so you narrow their thinking. You say that meat is a kind of food, something that is eatable. Fish, okay, it's something to be eaten, it's a creature, it's a sea creature, and so on. So vegetable, okay, so you can say that meat is a kind of equipment or a kind of machine. So why is it important to teach the lexical relations between words? Because this is very useful, because it enables students to narrow their thinking about the word. So here we have something subordinate, okay. Okay, here we have hyponym. So as you see a fruit, okay, you see this, it belongs to something called subordinate. Okay, and remember that a fruit is a hyponym of food, يعني تابع للطعام. Okay, I want to say this in Arabic so you understand. See this, banana, apple, lemon, apricot, guava, mango, all of them are hyponyms of the word fruit. But cucumber, if you have cucumber, carrots, so these are hyponyms of the word vegetable or the class vegetable. So here we have different classes. Actually, we don't want to complicate things, just you need to understand that a vocabulary is a word is included in other larger set or larger group. So in Arabic if we say al-khiyar, khiyar, الجزر وتابع للخضروات. الخضروات تتبع الهرم الأكبر وهو الطعام أو الغذاء. حينما نقول طبعا هناك الأسد، النمر، الضبع، طبعا ما يتبع مملكة الحيوانات، يتبع طبعا الغابة أو الحيوان، فطبعا جميعهم يعتبروا من المخلوقات creatures، والمخلقات طبعا هي طبعا السمة الأكبر التي طبعا تغطيهم. اوكي، هناك طبعا امثله اكثر توضح ذلك. حينما نقول همر، سو منشاره، chisel, okay, anvil, nail, etc. all these are hyponyms of tools. We can say building tools. الشاكوش، المطرقه، الزميل، كريك، مسطرين، كل تلك تتبع أدوات تستخدم في البناء. لكن طبعا لو نظرنا إلى كلمة so وهي طبعا تعني منشار. طبعا we have different kinds of saws, electric saws, a saw for cutting trees, a saw that is used to cut building woods or slices and so on. So if you say hacksaw, jigsaw, etc., all of them belong to something called saw. يعني هذا نوع من المناشير and so on. طب لماذا ضروري أن يتم تدريس الطلاب هذا الأمر حتى يقوم الطالب بتحديد تخمينه أو تفكيره في الكلمة؟ animal. حينما طبعا المدرس يقول tiger, what does it mean, the word tiger? Students don't know the meaning. He will say that tiger is not a kind of food that you eat. Tiger is not a kind of a creature living in the sea. So tiger is a kind of animal. If he want to make it more specific, to narrow more students thinking about the word, they will say an animal that is voracious or wild, living in the jungle. So cat, horse, tiger, elephant, all of them belong to the word animal. So all of them are included in the word animal. In Arabic, cat, horse, tiger, elephant, جميع الكلمات مشمولة في كلمة animal. طيب نفس الشيء هنا. We have the same thing. Stallion and mare, فرس and foal. All of them are included in the word horse because we have different kinds of horses. Then هنا stallion, mare, foal, all of them طبعا come under the word horse. This is very clear. And now we move to another issue in semantics, that is of a synonym. All of us know that synonyms means words that share identical or similar meanings or relations in meaning. We learn semantics, we study semantics. As you see, when we say we study semantics or we learn semantics, they almost have the same meaning. I'm not saying they exactly have the same meaning, but you can say we learn semantics at a school, we study semantics at a school. I'm reading a good book, I'm working on a good book, so I'm reading a good book, I'm working on a good book. Both sentences are paraphrased because we have two lexical items having almost the same meaning. So as you see here, E gives us B and B gives us A, so we call this reciprocal relation. The truth, we don't want to explain things, or we don't want to complicate things, because you are just taking something called Introduction to Linguistics. As you see, we learn semantics, we study semantics. Both sentences are paraphrases. Sentence number 1 includes the meaning of sentence number B and vice versa. So you can't deny one and confirm the second one. So you cannot say, well, we are not learning semantics, we are just studying semantics. So this is laughable. Connotation within synonymy. And if you remember when I said that connotation is the extra meaning or associative meaning given to some words. So I would say some words only have the literal meaning, and some words have extra meaning or additional meaning. If you say she is thin, neutral, then the meaning is a neutral. It doesn't have whether negative or positive meaning. You can say she's skinny. It has negative connotation, negative meaning, negative sense. So if you say, hey, you are skinny. Skinny means معضم, مجلدم in Arabic. That is pejorative, انتقاصي, derogatory, ازدرائي. And when you say she's slender, Sami is slender, it means رشيق. And you can say that this horse is slender, رشيق, so flattering, مجاملة, مدح. So there are synonymous. They are synonymous, but they differ in connotation. Like the word infant and baby, if you recall, The word infant has its literal meaning, but the word baby can be used to refer to a sweetheart or someone that you love very much. So sometimes it is flattering, and sometimes the word baby has a negative meaning. It can be pejorative when you say, especially when you say, oh, you baby, shut up. You are addressing your young sister, young brother, you are addressing your co, and you say, you baby, you don't have an idea about this, and so on. So once again, connotation is the shared meaning of the word, and you have to be very careful about denotation, which is the literal meaning, the basic meaning of the word given in a dictionary, and connotation is the extra meaning, the additional meaning, the shared meaning that usually doesn't exist in a dictionary, and these things will be in the exam, inshallah. Okay, if you just focus on these words, I mean, if you focus on the sentences, the exam was hard, the exam was difficult. I think the exam was very difficult to deal with, the exam was hard to deal with. So all of them have negative meaning, they just report about something that wasn't easy to deal with. So these are synonyms. They almost carry the same meaning. Antonymy. So antonymy is the opposite of synonym. So what is an antonymy? What are antonyms? Antonyms are words that have opposite relations. When we say opposites, mean that, okay, for example, if we have two words like strong and weak, cowardly and brave, you will feel that they have opposite meaning. I would say Sammy is strong, Dahlia is weak, and so on. Here we have two examples. The television is on now, okay? The television is off now. Another example, we say Sammy is present today and Yasser is absent today. So present and absent are antonyms because they have opposite meanings. Okay, you cannot say that the television is not on now and it is not off. Okay, because if you negate the first one, then you are confirming the second one. Or, I mean, the negative of the first sentence means the positive of the second one. I would say the television is not on now, it means that it is off. Binary or non-gradable antonyms. Okay, why we say non-gradable antonyms? Because these antonyms can't be graded. Okay, there is no possibility coming between them. If I say the television is on now, you cannot say that the television is almost on now or the television is very on now. No, you can't say this. Okay, so whether it is on or off. Okay, so they are binary antonyms, because if you say the television is not off, it means that it is on. So male and female, you cannot say that someone is almost male or someone is very female. No, no, absolutely not. That's why if you say Sarah is a female human being, then okay, she can't be. It is impossible to be a female human being, and so on. So let's move here. Dead and alive. Can I say that Jack is very dead? Jack is almost dead. Jack is deader. So these, as you see, these can't be graded because we don't have any possibilities coming between them. Well, you shouldn't be much concerned about the explanation. What you need is to know that these are binary antonyms. Okay, so you have a true and false. If you say your answer is not a true, it must mean false. If you say Jack didn't pass, it means that he failed. Jack passed the exam, this means that he didn't fail. I mean, this case is legal, that case is illegal. Tom is asleep, Tom is awake, so there is no possibility coming between them. That's very important. So once again, there is no space or scale or any possibility in between. Okay, this row, now we have non-binary gradable antonyms. Why we say non-binary or gradable antonyms? Because we have other possibilities, other levels coming between them. If you say Jack is not tall, if you say Jack is not tall, it doesn't mean that he's short. Jack is quite tall, okay, but to the eyes of somebody else, he is not short. He is short. He is not short. He is quite short. So here we have different perspectives concerning the height of a person. That's why this robe is long, that robe is short. Okay, remember this. If I say this robe is not long, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is short, because we can say long, longer, longest, very long, so long, extremely long, absolutely long, and so on. So if I say Sarah is not short, it doesn't mean that she's tall. Once again, if I say Sarah is not short, it doesn't necessarily indicate that she is tall. If I say my neighbor Ahmed is not rich, that doesn't indicate that my neighbor Ahmed is poor and he doesn't need charity, he doesn't need any financial help, and so on. So as you see here, okay, short and long, we have some other possibilities between them, okay? So it's too short, my robe is very long, and I still have another one much longer if you need more, okay? So this is very clear why we call them gradable antonyms, because okay, there are possibilities between the pairs. If you say cold, hot, okay, if I say it's not cold outside, it doesn't mean hot. So it doesn't indicate that you should take off your jacket and you should wear cotton clothes, no. It's not hot outside, that doesn't mean that it is cold, and so on. Low, high, low temperature, high temperature, cheap, expensive, narrow, wide, poor, rich, small, big. So you can say very cold, extremely cold. Well, I think it's not cold, it's a little bit cold, okay, it's quite hot, it's a little bit hot, it's extremely hot. So there are lots of possibilities coming between them. We don't want to spend more time explaining these things. Comparison of relations. Okay, so this we have synonyms: B equals P and B equals P, and so okay, and this one B doesn't necessarily indicate P, and so on, especially when we have okay for things. I think this is not so important for you, but to understand sometimes we have comparison of four relations, like seasons of the year. And now converse antonyms. Converse antonym, that is not difficult to understand. We have converse a predicate. See this. The map is above that chalkboard. That chalkboard is below the map. As you see, we have this one above and we have below. If I say another example, the lamp is above the desk. So we can say the desk is below the lamp. Okay? Ahmed is sitting next to the window. The window is next to Ahmed. Okay, X and Y. If A is the X of P, then B is the Y of A, and so on. Common converse pairs: husband of, Y of, employer of, employee of, or I can put it in some other examples. If we assume that Sarah is Ahmed's wife, Sarah is Ahmed's wife. So we have to say that Ahmed is Sarah's husband. Ahmed is Sarah's husband. Sarah is Ahmed's wife, and so on. So we have employer and employee. I would say Rami is Jack's employer. So Jack is Rami's employee. In Arabic we say Rami هو رب العمل أو صاحب العمل لأيمن. أيمن موظف لدى رامي and so on. If I say I am Rami, I am Rami's teacher. I am the teacher of Rami. So Rami is my student and so on. So we call this converse antonyms. We have direct opposite, before, after, left of, right of. So it is in the left, it is on the right of something. I would say Jack came before Ahmed. Ahmed came after Jack, and so on. So you can use either word in the pair with the same meaning. There are pairs of converse, three argument predicates. I mean that we have three words: give to, receive from, sell to, buy from, lend. And inshallah this will be tackled okay next this meeting. I have to stop now. Thank you so much, dear students. Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah I'll be back in a minute.